I hope you're going to enjoy the next 60 minutes. You're going to see some of my old singles and you're going to see some of my new ones.
You guys, can you be quiet for a second, please? I just want to introduce somebody who just walked in. Her name is Louise, and she's here.
You're going to see me making a new video. And you're also going to take a pretty good look at me backstage.
Go to JJ and go and ask her to just ping me and let me know.
Hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
I've been talking to Swen.
Hi, Ali. Well, what legs?
Pinch salmon in your mum.
Thanks very much for coming down.
See you soon.
Performing for me is the main focus, and I don't know where the urge comes from, but I just think you have to utilise what talent you're given. And you have the Aretha Franklins of this world that have the most spectacular voice, and you don't need to see anything else. You don't need to hear anything else apart from that. And then you get the Michael Jacksons and the Madonnas that have got a great voice, but they have a strong talent in other areas, which is enjoyment, I think. It's not a talent anything other than total enjoyment to perform and move. And for me, that's, I don't know, I suppose I just enjoy to bring things to life.
Let's go round again. Maybe we'll turn back the hands of time. Let's go round again. One more time.
It's not a real kind of conscious effort of, right, I'm going to go out there and really try to perform. It's kind of like, you know, the music comes on, you start singing, and it's a natural enjoyment process for me. It's not really a tried thing.
My name is Caroline Rice. This is Jamie King, the choreographer. And another assistant, Luca Tomasini. And as you know, you're here today to audition for the 97 tour for Louise. Very exciting.
When you announced this tour, I'm trying to think, it was actually back in the Capitol Cafe,
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 months ago. And you came up with the idea there, and you're saying, right, we're going to find dancers from out on the street almost. So why did you come up, just again, why did you come up with that idea?
It was just a case of, I don't know, I think everybody deserves sometimes a chance in life, and you get loads of talented people out there that never get a chance or an opportunity to go and do what they've always wanted to do. So I just thought if I can maybe just open, even if it's only 2 doors, then it's kind of just putting a little bit of something back into all the help everyone's given me. This is Jamie.
Hello.
He's the man. This is Luca.
The man.
And
The girl.
This is, and this is Caroline, and this is the crew that are here today. This is the crew that's here today, and they're kind of going through all the auditions. I'm basically leaving it to them because they're the professionals. I'm just sitting back and watching. So, and I'm really grateful that you all come over to take part in.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Is this just going to be a lot bigger than anything you've done before? Are you really sort of pulling out all the stops for this one?
I'm doing my best. I mean, obviously there's only so far you can go. I've only had 1 album out, and you know, it's only the first kind of touring I'm going to be doing. Hopefully there's going to be lots more to follow. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to make it as spectacular as I possibly can. In the beginning, I felt like I was just going somewhere on my own, and that I wasn't actually an artist. I was just going as Louise, part of Eternal, or ex-Eternal, as everyone called me. I think it was when the first single did well, and I was at Top of the Pops, and I got home, and it just sort of hit me. I thought, you know, I'd just been on Top of the Pops singing Light of My Life by Louise. Just, that was the main first time I think it really hit home.
One thing in life that I'm sure of. Light of my life, baby, shine on. Make me believe you're the right one.
Everybody was, I think, expecting me to come out with an up-tempo pop song, And I almost expected myself to come out with that. And I'd recorded Light of My Life with Simon Climie, which had a 32-piece orchestra on it. It was like a real big ballad. And I'd worked hard on the song, and everybody in my management and record company had said, oh, it's a lovely song. And my management said, we're going to go with that one first. And I was like, what, a ballad? And I can remember doing all the stations, you know, around the country, going, visiting them all, and I'd sort of say, oh, here's my new single, and they'd have a listen while you're actually in the room. It's the most nerve-wracking thing. I'd sort of just sit in the chair thinking, oh God, if they don't like it, what are they going to say?
In walks love, in walks you, in walks all my dreams, coming to walk right through my door.
I've always loved dancing. I mean, some of my favourite dancers I used to watch Janet videos, everything. I just picked out these specific dancers. I'm looking forward to every one of my dancers watching him dance, because I know as a dancer that trained, when I went over to work with him in Naked, it made me realise how ungood a dancer I was. He's amazing. He's everything I've ever looked for in a choreographer and a director for what I want to do and where I want to be in life. So he's fantastic. For the world. Immortal Love was it was nice to get up there and start moving around, and sort of like I had dancers on the road with me. It kind of brought back that group atmosphere, that it wasn't just me on stage, because with Light of My Life, 90% of the time would be me just there singing. And that can be quite daunting when you're in, at the time I was doing different road shows like Smash Hits and that in front of 15, 20,000 people, and it's just me up on stage. Sort of think, oh no. But so the time I was doing Immortal Love, I'd have 4 or 5 dancers, and it brought back that group atmosphere, which was, I looked forward to that.
The chairs on the floor right now should be 101 to 200.
The audition I went to that was as big as this was when I was about 10, and I went for Annie in Bromley.
And did you get it?
No.
So you can imagine how the people out there are feeling
I
now.
respect them so much, because that put me off auditions for life.
That's right. Hello. Thanks.
You're welcome, no worries. Thank you. Thanks very much for coming down. Right. Big breakfast. Do I look okay for big breakfast, or what?
Little touch up.
For me, the people you work with and the people that surround you, and you know, everybody from the people that kind of do your everyday schedule to people you work with in the studio, everybody has to give a big part of themselves to you to almost kind of further your career. You know, I mean, I know when you work with producers, if the song's a hit, it furthers their career and, you know, they get a better name for themselves. But the ultimate person that is furthering their career is you. And I respect somebody that would take that much time out on me to kind of make what I want to happen. So therefore, you know, I think a mutual respect is so important. And also just feeling comfortable and confident with the people you're working with. Okay, ready? Okay, I'm here today. I've seen at least 400 people this morning. There is still about 300 more to go. There's been some brilliant standards, there's been some brilliant dancers, some that maybe aren't right, but I'm not making any decisions just yet. I'm going to wait a little while yet, because there's so many people to see. So.
Outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, that's fine.
Rather than having it here? Unless we pan down from grand stalls.
It's pretty horrible. It's just
horrible,
like,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Louise, can we go outside and we'll be as quick as possible?
It'd be better doing it in there. I thought, what's the point? All these TVs coming down.
One thing is for
not
character
filming
and
in
for
there.
radio, it's better. For radio, it's better to do
Yeah,
it here.
I'm in the
because it's
TVs. So you can see what's going on, so
yeah.
it's well, it smells kind of real.
Definitely.
Let me introduce you to Roger. This is so important. Roger is the tour manager. Now this man here is the one that puts it all together, the venues, the budget. He sorts out for these guys to come over. He's the main man. He's the one that we owe for coming on tour. And let me not forget 2 other people.
Very important.
Okay, these are also important. This is Graham, who's he's my promoter. So he's the one that makes, you know, this extremely possible by going to all the venues. And Miss Baldock, management, mother, and that's just me, mate.
Whatever. Backwards is hard, but.
So it's due to this whole lot of people that it makes everything really possible. It's not down to me at all. I just go out there and sing at the end of the day. think Naked for me was that step forward. It was about transforming myself from Louise ex-Eternal into Louise an artist, because I never expected to ever lose the tag totally, but I thought, it's about time I did started losing it now and again. So Naked for me was, I think, that the song that did turn me around to being able to go to, America and do the video I did over there and work with the likes of Jamie King, who worked with the likes of Madonna and Janet Jackson. So, that gave me the opportunity just to try and make the whole show a little bit bigger. A lot of hours were spent on dancing for the Naked video. I'd gone over to LA and I knew that this guy that was going to choreograph the single was really good, and he had done this version and that version, but I didn't have a clue what to expect. I went into the studio early, the beginning of the week, and I saw the routine, and all the dancers kind of that were going to be in the video knew it. And they said, okay, we just got to teach it to you now. And I was like, I'm leaving. I'm not getting up there. And these dancers were fantastic. They were so talented. And we worked really about 5 days non-stop on that routine, getting it as tight could be.
This is the first photo shoot I've done in a long time. It's to promote, or to start promoting the second album. Today is kind of just, it's a slightly casual kind of shoot, more that I think everybody could go out there and wear. Like sometimes you do photo shoots and you know that the clothes you're wearing aren't really realistic and you'd never be seen out in them, or you'd never wear something quite as revealing out. But today's it's for a slightly younger audience, which is always fun to do because you can smile and just be yourself, and you haven't got someone shouting at you, be sexy, and thinking,
When I was so afraid to let anyone in.
I get worried myself. I get up in the morning and think, oh God, I could feel like crying because I feel this or I feel that. Same as anybody else. And I think people, like some of my friends, they say, I can't believe you're moaning or you're saying that. And I think they think I should have the confidence that they see you have on TV or they see you have on stage. But then you go home, you don't go home with that kind of confidence. Well, I don't anyway.
I mean, the first one will be quite easy. It'll be just like an interrogation thing. So, you'd be just kind of like...
Yeah, the idea is sort of like... more questions. Or...
You have to be multi-talented in photo shoots. You've got to look shocked, you've got to look happy, sad.
Start off with a couple of smiley ones and then do a couple of straight ones. That's okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Good. You don't really think it's a bit too full on?
I just think for the piece it would be better if it was just a bit more casual.
Okay.
I had a nightmare doing the video for Undivided Love because they kept asking me to stay underwater and I just kept floating to the top. So in the end, my choreographer Jamie, who was in the video also, he had to swim to the bottom of the pool and try and hold my feet down so they could just get a shot of me somewhere under the water. It's just like holding my ankles and kicking stuff. Oh, I've got to breathe. But it was a nightmare. It was enjoyable because when they said about, water and maybe swimming in the video, I didn't want it to be a case of bikini on, let's go swimming around a swimming pool. So I quite liked the concept of the pool was inside and I was actually in shoes, trousers and a shirt underneath this pool, which had a slightly different concept of it rather than me swimming around in a swimming costume, which I wasn't too keen on doing.
3, 2, 1. Lovely. That's nice, actually, that kind of...
I held your love here in my hand.
It will be. It will probably be.
Like winter sand. I was so young then.
get carried away, I think, so much with image, and people say, you know, you're a role model for young girls and that. And there's only one thing I'd like to ever say to a young girl, and that is they should never feel pressured by this kind of whole, you know, the way you're meant to look. And beauty is so cliche, and my mum has always said it to me, and I know many people are going to say, oh, it's easy for you to say that, you know, you're there and someone's done your makeup for an hour and your hair, but everybody's beautiful in some aspect. Not everybody finds the same thing attractive, and it really does come from within. And I know for me, you know, and I get kind of people saying this to me and that to me, and I take it all with a pinch of salt, because I do know that when I go home, I am very normal and extremely just, well, anyone who knows me on a personal level could tell you, an extremely normal young girl. Wend, I'll be walking through, shall I? Yeah. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, here we are, backstage at Wembley. Now, we've just been out there into the crowd. There are thousands of people out there, Louise, all here hoping to be your dancer. I mean, first off, are you overwhelmed by the amount of people that are out there?
Yeah, oh yeah, it takes a lot of courage, I think, to come down and just get on stage and do a dance audition. I wouldn't have the guts to do it, so I'd like to thank anybody that has come down today, because I'll give them so much respect.
Yeah.
These are the girls, these girls are the most important fans. We're gonna make it!
Now, can I ask you a couple of questions about your single?
Sure.
While we're here. Can you tell me the sentiment behind the single?
It's kind of got an Eastern feel, kind of a worldly feel. We use lots of different instruments, like in the single, to try and create that all over the world. Some days I get up and I'm totally kind of all over the place and trying to get it all into perspective. But the most important thing is, I think, to be professional at all times when you're doing that job, because, I don't know, I think people respect professionalism. You know, whether they like your music, whether they hate your music, whether they think you're a crap singer or a brilliant singer, if you're professional about the job you're doing, people can still have to respect you for that. Because if you're up there and they don't like the way you're singing and you're acting like a complete, I don't know what, then, you know, they have a right to go and badmouth you. But I know people might say, oh, I love her music or I don't love her music, but she knows how to get the job done and she does it correctly. And that's important, I think, because word about mouth in the music industry is also, unfortunately, which is really, I think, really sad, it plays a big part in people's careers. You know, the way people think of you as a person, also as much as what the way people think of your music.
No. I'm all right.
Today was an unusually late start for a video. I didn't get here till 11 because I had to go for an eye contact fitting early this morning, so I got here about 11. And the day's just really gone on. I've only done one look as well, and in this video there's going to be like 5, so still lots ahead. The concept behind the video is it's kind of a weird one. It's about me, Louise, the real Louise. It's like just me being shocked at how many clones there are of me around the world. So it's kind of like, it's just strange, one of them futuristic weird ones.
Happy?
Yeah,
Lovely.
do I sing when I think of you into that?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. Watch me get it wrong now. I've got different favourite videos for kind of different reasons. Naked for me was one of the favourites because of the choreography and the dancing, and it was hard work but really good fun to do because I like dancing, and to incorporate that much dancing in one video was the first for me. And One Kiss from Heaven because I had all my mates in it, and it was the easiest video I've ever done. One Kiss from Heaven, even though it was my last single, it was one of my favourite singles, so I was actually really looking forward to doing that song. Normally videos are quite really long days and just kind of, you know, most of the work's based on you trying to perform and kind of give it all you've got all day or all 2 days, whatever. But One Kiss from Heaven just had all them professional people around me, Michelle Gale and Kelly and everyone who just sort of could help you along. And it was a great day. It was basically us all in a gorgeous house, just chilling.
A bit more pensive.
I'd love to say I was a health freak, because I'd like to be more... I always think, yeah, you know, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm one of them people that just kind of does it, but never, like, properly does it.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's it, it's good. Bring the shoulder towards me a little bit.
How did I get in my purple trousers? I have fits and bursts, you know, of, you know, I'm going to go down the gym, I'm going to eat this way, and then I lose it.
3, 2, 1, lovely. 3, 2, 1.
I think sometimes you have to kind of let yourself go and not be so conscious about the whole image thing. So you just do your head in.
Just turn the body a little bit. I know you. That's it. Right, hold that 1 second.
Carol, my makeup artist, she has a nightmare with me. I just go in and after a couple of days, I just say, please don't brush my hair anymore. And I go home and my skin feels like, ugh. Because I'm not somebody that will get up in the morning and kind of put their makeup on to go out. I sort of will just get up and, you know, wash my hair and leave, ponytail and minimal makeup. I don't know if it's I can't be bothered, I feel like, you know, so kind of, I don't know, I have to do it so often that it's nice to not have to do it, but I get really, that's the one thing that I get really agitated, you know, and I start going, oh, please, Louise, I don't want my hair brushed, I don't want to wear that coloured lipstick. Get a nightmare. The second album, I felt slightly more confident than I did on the first album. You know, I actually felt like if I didn't like something on the first album, I'd be worried that maybe it was just my taste was not quite, you know, what it should be, and I should maybe listen to it and get to like it. Where on this album, I knew if I didn't like something, I didn't like something. If I loved something, I loved something. And I kind of almost trusted my own judgment more. Some videos you kind of leave in the evening and you know what it's going to look like. Like, there's been some, like, One Kiss from Heaven. That was kind of, I knew pretty much the vibe of it. We could see it all on the screen. And then, like today, the video I'm doing today, because there's so much done after with the effects of the different people and everything. It's going to completely be a different video by the time I leave here and see it. So that's when it gets nerve-wracking, when you're not quite sure what you're going to see. At one stage, I didn't know if I could ever write songs that really meant a lot to me, because I never had. And on the first album, I'd wrote songs, but there wasn't real personal songs. On this album, I don't know if maybe I've been for a little bit more, experienced a little bit more in life, but I felt like I wanted to actually, you know, well, naturally, when I would begin to write a song, I'd sort of naturally begin to write about a feeling I had or a feelings I'd felt. So on this album, there are a couple of quite personal songs, which is quite nice. When I listen to the album and then them songs come on, I kind of, you know, get that up the back, my back, and I think, oh God, these songs like actually mean a lot to me.
When will my heart beat again? When will I know you're truly mine? When will I love like before? When we were more than just friends? When will my heart beat again?
Special side of Louise. I know there's a special side. I think it's really important to not give all in your music and to give all as an artist and as a singer. But I think if you give too much away as a person, you know, about your private life, it's not that you're trying to be edgy or you're trying to be kind of stuck up or anything. It's just for your own sanity. I think it's just good to have a slight bit of privacy and just to know that something in your life is just yours and nobody else's. Yeah. Okay. That's a simple bit, really just simple wall. I always think a new feel is created, you know. A lot of people kind of say, right, you've got a new album, you've got to have a new image, you've got to have a new this, a new that. And for me, I just think a new feel always just comes along because times change. And it was 6-7 months ago that I last had a single out and last even had a video on the TV. And a lot changes, you know, fashion-wise, the kind of new videos that are being brought out constantly. And you change as a person.
When will my heart beat again?
And I'm walking too fast.
You might get the Reebok campaign.
Do you reckon I get a trainer's campaign? Also, I enjoy when I make a video, people are like, you know, is this a new sexy image or is this a new sporty image? It's kind of, no, this is like one page in a book that you take yourself out of being Louise, you know, and you just change visually what you look like. It doesn't mean you actually change as a person or your own morals or your own values. You dress up almost for a video. Okay, pros and cons. There's a lot of pros. One, I'm doing a job that I've always wanted to do, and the opportunity came along, and you know I've taken it. And it's just, oh God, to earn a living for this is fantastic. The pros outweigh the cons, but for me, I mean, the cons for everyone are different. For me, the cons, I think I get homesick when I travel for too long. I miss home, I miss my mum and dad and my friends and everybody around me. The Woman in Me. I'd actually recorded a single on the album called The Woman in Me. It's a great song. I really like the song, and I thought it just said quite a lot. It's like when I did Light of My Life and the Naked album, a lot of people were like, oh, Louise is, you know, she's getting raunchy, is she getting this, you know, has she had this done, has she had that done? And it kind of upset me because I was a bit like, hang on a minute, when you guys all saw me in my first album, I made the album when I was 18, 17, and now I'm 21, and you know, and I'm just getting older, and that's all it's about. It's not me trying to create and be a big girl. It's like I am growing up. I am sorting my life out on a personal level and music level. And The Woman in Me, I think, just kind of said that. It's like, okay, you know, you've all seen young Louise, and I'm going to turn into a woman one day. And, you know, this is the beginning of it.
That's what I miss. Everything reminded me of you.
Was I like waffling there? I felt myself really waffling. Thank you.